Should I give up my dream wedding venue for my pregnant sister under family pressure?
Yeah.
Elena, who's 28, and her fiancé Marcus, 29, they spent the last 3 years planning their wedding.
3 years. Wow. That's commitment. Sounds super important to them.
Absolutely. They booked this amazing venue like years in advance. It was all supposed to coincide with Elena finishing her PhD, like the perfect celebration of their 8-year relationship. And then Elena's younger sister, Sofia, who's 23, she kind of enters the picture.
Yes. Younger sisters. Always something, right?
You said it. So Sofia, she just got engaged to Ryan. He's 24, and they're expecting. Happy news, right? Well, during a family barbecue, Sofia casually mentions that maybe she should just use Elena and Marcus's venue.
Hold on. She just asked to, take over. That's a bit bold.
Bold is putting it lightly. Sofia's reasoning was that, planning a wedding while pregnant, it's too stressful. Starting from scratch is overwhelming. And then she drops the classic line, you guys can just reschedule, right?
Oof. Talk about pressure, especially for something as big as a wedding.
Exactly. Elena tried to explain, how much this venue meant to them both, but Sofia got upset, stormed off. And to top it off, their parents, Irene, she's 55, and George, 58, they sided with Sofia, accused Elena of being selfish, said she needs to prioritize family happiness.
It's wild how fast the focus shifted from Elena's plans, which she's had for years, to Sophia's needs right now. It makes you think about family dynamics, that pressure to just go along.
Right. Like everyone forgot Elena has feelings too. Understandably, Marcus, he was furious, took Elena home, and of course that just fueled the fire. Sofia blamed Elena for all the drama. George is blowing up their phones with these guilt-tripping texts about how upset Sofia is.
It's so common, one person's emotions just take over the whole situation. Sophia's distress is overshadowing the fact that she kind of overstepped, right?
Totally. Then Irene, trying to, rally more troops, she calls Marcus's parents, Robert, he's 60, and his wife's name wasn't mentioned. But here's the twist. Robert, thank goodness, stood up for Elena, even called out Irene on her behavior.
Good for him. Someone needs to be the voice of reason, By being calm, supporting Elena and Marcus, he's actually showing what healthy boundaries in a family look like.
He's definitely the MVP here. Through all this, Elena's leaning on her support system, Marcus, of course, his awesome parents, and her best friend Sarah, who's 30.
Sounds like she's got a good team.
She does. But just when things seem to be calming down, there's another curveball. Sofia's fiancé, Ryan, he reaches out to apologize for Sofia's behavior.
Oh, really? So he wasn't on board with this whole venue stealing plan?
Nope, not at all. Said he never agreed with it, thought it was settled. And get this. He reveals that Sofia's actually using this whole thing to manipulate him, claiming Elena's the one jeopardizing their relationship.
Whoa, plot twist. Sounds like Sophia's playing a whole different game here.
Yeah, and it gets worse. Sofia sends Elena fake screenshots, like a combo with their wedding planner, Karen, she's 42, about reassigning the venue.
Red flag alert. Making someone doubt their reality with fake stuff. Classic manipulation.
Exactly what I thought. Textbook manipulation. But thankfully, Elena's smart. She calls Karen immediately, who confirms nothing can change without Elena's say-so. Just to be safe, Elena and Marcus add passwords to all their vendor accounts, contact the venue, lock everything down.
Good move. Especially when trust is broken, you got to protect yourself.
So true. Now, Elena's older brother, Daniel, 35, he was out of town, heard about all this from their mom, got a super distorted version, of course. When Elena finally tells him what really happened, Daniel's not even surprised. He tells her their parents' favoritism towards Sofia has always been a thing.
Aha. So this isn't just a one-time thing. Sounds like a pattern, a deeper dynamic in the family.
You hit the nail on the head. And while most of the family seems to be against Elena, she finds support from her Aunt Lydia. She's 62.
Wow.
Lydia offers to help at the wedding, even steps up to be a bridesmaid, takes Sofia's place.
That's so sweet. Reminds you family isn't always blood, right? Sometimes it's the people who choose to be there for you.
It's such an important point. Elena and Marcus, determined to make the best of it, they decide to take matters into their own hands.
Okay, what'd they do? They seem like a pretty resourceful couple.
Oh, they are? They cancel the catering, the one her parents were paying for, decide to do a DIY buffet with help from their friends. They even turned their bachelor and bachelorette parties into this giant cooking session, everyone pitching in.
What a fantastic way to flip the script. Taking a negative and making it fun, bonding with their chosen family.
Right, turning stress into something memorable. As the wedding day gets closer, Elena has a lot to think about when it comes to her family.
I can imagine. She's been through a lot emotionally.
Yeah, she realizes their behavior has been toxic, hurtful. She makes a decision. Her parents and Sofia, they're welcome at the wedding, but only if they apologize. A sincere one. If not, she's walking down the aisle with Daniel, surrounded by her true family, the ones who love and support her.
That's powerful. Shows how much she's grown through all this. Putting her well-being first, setting boundaries. Elena's story reminds us sometimes you got to redefine what family means. Surround yourself with the right people.
Absolutely. Elena's story is all about recognizing your worth, setting boundaries, even with family, finding strength when things are tough, and choosing to be with people who lift you up.
It's truly inspiring to see her prioritize her happiness and surround herself with people who genuinely care. What a powerful message. It really is amazing, right? How she took this whole mess and turned it into something so positive.
I know. It's like, talk about turning lemons into lemonade. They could have been so resentful, but instead they created this awesome memory with their friends.
Exactly. It's all about focusing on what truly matters, right? Their love, their commitment, and the people who genuinely support them.
And it makes you think, like, what would we have done? Would we be strong enough to choose our own happiness, even if it meant maybe disappointing family?
That's a tough question, for sure. It forces us to look at our own values. You know, how much weight do we give to family expectations versus what we really want deep down?
For Elena, it seems like setting that boundary, that ultimatum, was a real turning point.
Oh, absolutely. She took back control. It was like she was saying, look, my happiness matters, and I'm not going to compromise on that.
A powerful statement, right?
Yeah.
About self-respect and knowing your worth.
Totally. And it sends a message to everyone around her that her feelings, her boundaries, they deserve respect. That's something that goes way beyond just this wedding situation.
It really does. Elena's story, it's been a wild ride, right? All these emotions, but in the end, it's a story about hope, about resilience, choosing love over obligation.
I love that. It's a reminder that even when things are crazy, we always have choices. We can let the chaos consume us, or we can find a way through it with grace and strength.
And that's exactly what Elena did. Her story is such a testament to the human spirit,
Mm.
our ability to adapt, to overcome.
Absolutely. It's like no matter what life throws at you, you've got the power to create a positive outcome. Elena's story is proof of that.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring how she didn't let all that family drama, steal her joy. She really took control and made choices that put her well-being first.
Absolutely. And that can be so hard, especially with family. There's this pressure to always put them first, no matter what.
Right, but Elena shows us it's okay to set boundaries, even if it means maybe disappointing people. Sometimes your own happiness has to come first.
Exactly. It's not selfish to protect yourself, even from family. Sometimes, like you said, you have to create some distance, focus on the people who really support you, your chosen family.
Elena's story really makes you think about all that.
Yeah.
It's something we all deal with, family, expectations, all of it. What are your final thoughts on this whole thing?
I think Elena's journey shows us, really, how important it is to define family on our own terms. Surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, whether they're blood or not. And remembering that setting boundaries, it's not a bad thing. It's a way to protect yourself, your own mental health. Would you be able to do that, in a situation like this?
That's a great question for our listeners to think about. Elena's story, it's been a roller coaster, but it's a story about hope, about standing up for yourself. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Yeah, this has been a really insightful conversation.
I agree. Thanks to everyone for joining us as we explored Elena's story. It's definitely given us all a lot to think about.